I request all of you to settle down, please. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome you all to the 68th Foundation Day program of Iit Kharagpur. Before we proceed, 2-minute silence in honor of the just departed former Prime Minister of India, Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Thank you so much. We begin with an invocation in honor of the Institute, sung by Srimati Debrani Chatterjee and her team. I request you all to stand up while the invocation is playing. There is another request. Please keep your mobiles on the silent mode while the proceedings are on. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I welcome now the following dignitaries on stage. Our most respected Dean, Alumni Affairs, Professor Subroto Chattopadhyay. Welcome, sir. Our most respected Registrar, Professor B.N. Singh. Our most respected Deputy Director, Professor Sriman Kumar Bhattacharya. Our most Honorable Director, Professor Parthapratim Chakraborty, and our eminent guest, the Chief Guest, Dr. Punendu Chatterjee. Welcome, sir. Small token of appreciation for them. I would now request our respected Dean Alumni Affairs, Professor Subroto Chattopadhyay, to address the audience.
Our eminent chief guest, Director IIT Kharagpur, Deputy Director IIT Kharagpur, Registrar IIT Kharagpur, ladies and gentlemen, welcome all to the 68th Foundation Day function of our grand institution, and especially a warm welcome to our guest alumni who are assembled here today. Our chief guest doesn't need any introduction, but I take the opportunity to say a few words about him. Dr. Purnendu Chatterjee is a founder and chairman of the Chatterjee Group, a premier firm founded in 1989 that now has operations spanning several continents and industries. He is an IIT Kharagpur alumnus, our life fellow, who has been the driving force behind many of the Institute's initiatives. Under Dr. Chatterjee's leadership, the Chatterjee Group has compiled a highly successful investment record in India in diverse fields from financial services to pharmaceuticals, life sciences, IT services, software, engineering, petrochemicals, chemicals, and real estate. Sir has not left anything. Dr. Chatterjee is passionately committed to promoting the entrepreneurship as a key to India's economic development and is looked upon as the Messiah of Bengal who was willing to invest in Bengal when no one else was willing to do so. I welcome this brave heart and visionary in our midst. Another visionary gentleman, the first director of the Institute, Professor Gyan Chandra Ghosh, addressed such an august gathering 68 years ago. On that day, on the 18th of August 1951, he pledged that IIT Kharagpur would be, among all other things, a home of students and teachers drawn from all parts of India. I firmly believe that apart from growing into a multi-dimensional institution that brings to fruition some of the bravest national projects and producing scholars who are a pride to this country and the world, IIT Kharagpur has also lived up to this earnest dream of its earliest administrator. Generations of our alumni members have left us in no doubt about how much they feel for this home of theirs. Many have come back to found pioneering schools, centers, and laboratories at IIT Kharagpur. Some have set up endowments to fund student scholarships or award teachers of their excellence, and we are soon going to read out the names of them. There are others who have come back to refurbish the infrastructure of the halls of residence through their generous hall gifts. Now even final year students leave behind their gift through the My Imprint program, in which they voluntarily donate their caution deposit to fund student welfare schemes. Thank you all for your care and generosity. What better way to honor the undying bond between the alma mater and its alumni than holding a homecoming on the birthday of the institution. From this year onwards, we will be hosting the annual homecoming for batches who would be celebrating the 20th, 15th, or the 10th anniversaries of their graduation. This year, 2018, the classes of 1998, 2003, and 2008 celebrate their homecoming, and next year, 3 more batches will come home. From this year, we also begin conferring the Young Alumni Achiever Award, and this is the first of its kind. This is to send out a loud message about how proud their alma mater feels about the accomplishments and distinctions of her young achievers. This is to rekindle the bond early on so that the institute gains from the young energies of its alumni. There is much they can give back in the form of mentoring, their introduction of the younger generations of students to the brave new world that they have traveled, a little bit of hand-holding as the young actually step out there. I'm sure they have better ideas than I do about how they can make a difference, so I leave it to them to figure out. For now, let us begin our 68th birthday of this Grand Institute ceremony. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for that wonderful speech. I now invite Mr. Vishal Kumar Singh, the Students' Vice President, Technology Students Gymkhana, to say a few words to our audience.
Good morning, everyone. It is a matter of immense pleasure to invite you all and welcome you all for the 68th Foundation Day and the first ever homecoming, as already mentioned by our Dean Alumni Affairs. I believe everyone sitting over here, be it the students, the professors, the alumni, we all owe a large part of what we are today to this great institute. It is a magical place, which sprinkles us all of its magic, and it decides the course of our lives. I'm very delighted to see many of our alumni on this event. Just as a tree is known by its roots, we have already looked forward to our alumni, and they have been an integral part of this institute. The achievements of our alumni have been the stepping stone of KGP. I congratulate all the awardees and I thank the institute for coming up with the idea of Young Alumni Achiever Award. I think the pace at which the young alumni, they have received their success or they have climbed up the ladder of their success was so vast and so good that the institute couldn't wait to honor your contribution to the society. It has been 68 years of this institute, and each day KGP sees a new phase of its life, a new beginning every day. Be it academics, extracurriculars, infrastructure development. In the academics we have grown to 19 departments, 15 centers, and 12 schools. And recently we had the Center for Excellence in Artificial Intelligence as well. So as the trend changes, we are very susceptible to changes. Our alumni come forward, our administration works in hand with the alumni, it takes inputs from the students, makes the necessary changes, and then we adopt to them. Regarding the developments, we have the entire gang who's getting reconstructed, and it's a matter of proud. I'd like to announce that we'll be hosting the upcoming interactive sports meet in the next year. We also have an indoor sports complex coming up. We have recently an alumni clock tower coming up. We have the guest house, new guest house being built, a girls' hostel being built. So it's a very vast development at the institute level. So, and on this special occasion, I would just like to thank everyone for being here, for being the part of this family. No matter how many birthdays we celebrate, KGP will always live in us forever. In a very simple way, I would say that first we live in KGP, and then KGP lives in us. With this, I come to the end of my speech. I thank you everyone. Have a good day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Singh, for that pithy message. I now call upon our respected Deputy Director, Professor Sriman Kumar Bhattacharya, to say a few words to the audience.
"67 years is not a very long period when you talk about the age of an institution. IIT Kharagpur, which started its journey way back in 1951, has completed 67 years of its existence. And during this period, it has earned many laurels, and many times by different ranking institute has been ranked this institute as number 1. And in the recent past, this institute is placed within 5 institutes in the country. It has earned many laurels, and it is all set to earn the recognition of Institute of an Eminence. During this period of time, the institute has produced a large number of illustrious alumni who are respected, who are working in different spheres of life across the globe. And one of such illustrious alumni, Dr. Punnendu Chatterjee, who is amongst us today as a chief guest when we observe the 68th Foundation Day of this institute. Thank you, sir, for being with us, and we welcome you in this institute. The institute is constantly working to achieve excellence in different spheres, and I'm not going to take time on that. I'm sure that Professor Chakraborty, our director, will talk about that. Also, I welcome the alumni who have completed 20 years, 15 years, or 10 years of their graduation, who are here with us today, who are visiting their alma mater and becoming a part of this program today. Well, I thank all the awardees of different awards, the alumni, the faculty, the staff, and the students who will be receiving different awards on this particular occasion. I also would like to thank the alumni who have sponsored different awards, who have instituted different awards in the institutes for different cross-section of people. In particular, I like to thank Professor Chandralekha Singh and her husband Jeremy Levy for instituting 2 awards in the name of late Professor Mrs. Mandakini Majumdar and Professor G.P. Sastry, who were our colleagues in this institute. Being a faculty of civil engineering, I had the opportunity to work as a colleague with Professor Mrs. Majumdar. In fact, I have seen her from a very close corner, not only as a colleague in the department, but her husband, another dedicated teacher, Professor Sapan Majumdar, happens to be my supervisor both in Masters and PhD. And from that point of view, I could interact with her from a very close corner. In fact, I have really learned a number of things from her. Her dedication, her sincerity, her devotion towards work was such that it cannot be expressed in words. I really thank Professor Chandralekha Singh and her husband for instituting this award in her name. Well, I thank you all for coming over here and being with us when we observe the 68th Foundation Day of this institute. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for that wonderful speech. I now request our most honorable director, Professor Parthapratim Chakraborty, to address the audience, please.
Dr. Punendu Chatterjee, a very illustrious alumnus, a quintessential IITian, who was not only a typical graduate of this institute, a PhD from a top US university, an entrepreneur on his own right, a visionary, and a person who has built Indian companies of global stature. And most importantly, whenever there was a call for the institute, from the institute to contribute, to set up any state-of-the-art facility, whether it is the advanced VLSI design lab, or whether it is the students' project on designing the next generation electric vehicle, or the Center for AI Research, he came forward to contribute handsomely, not only in funding, but also in technological support that is extremely critical for us to work. I would like to thank him for accepting to come at this Foundation Day and speak to all of us. To all the alumni who have come back, the young alumni achievers, these are the people with whom I sat down to develop so many dreams. To the homecomers who have come back to the institute, to the students, the staff, my faculty colleagues and other guests, including my good friend Professor Navakanta Bhatt from ISC Bangalore, who has come to receive the Nina Saxena Award. And it's such a pleasure, an honor for us as well as for the award that such a distinguished scientist of this country is receiving this award. My friends, on the Foundation Day, it is important for us to remember that the IIT system is the finest product of independent India. There is no other global product out of independent India that is better than the IIT system. And Iit Kharagpur is its wicketkeeper captain. Iit Kharagpur has driven almost all the most important new things in the IIT system. Today, our alumni cover CEOs of top institutions, chief ministers of states, heads of atomic energy, DRDO, ISRO, entrepreneurs who are the best in the kind. But today I would like to remember one person with whom I was interacting today morning. 2012 dual degree agriculture food engineering, Rajagopala Sankara, IAS, Deputy Collector Padmanabham District, Kanyakumari, who for the last 1 month is just waist deep in water every day, saving lives of hundreds of people. And that, ladies and gentlemen, makes an IITian. But IIT Kharagpur, this mothership, has been built and made famous by its alumni. But at the back end, in the kitchen, you have to look at all those who have cooked the food for you, cleaned the bathrooms in the philosophical sense, and taught you. The teachers with whose dedication this institute runs, the staff, the almost always unsung heroes for whom this institute runs like clockwork every day. You have to see the pride they have of being part of IIT Kharagpur. Today we have in our midst researchers and scientists of such high caliber that we were deeply pained that when we had to give these faculty excellence awards, that we had so limited number of them, that we had to leave out people because of that limited number, which we shall change, who would have been equally awarded in any other IIT. That is the quality of this institution. When we are giving these Staff Excellence Awards, when I saw the names, I said, why one? Why two? And immediately I was remembering the names of the people. So it is not only the hard work of the professors, giants of this institution who have taught many of you and us, but also the sweeper of the institution. And every one of us. That is why yesterday I was talking to my colleagues and saying that we have a wonderful movie on the history of the institute till we became IIT. We need to document and make a history of what IIT Kharagpur has become today and how. This institution now needs to fly. And we have drawn up a roadmap for taking this flight. For the last 65, 70, 80 years, we have grown and lived on people's money, on the money of the taxpayer, on the money of the ordinary person. And we've done a good job about it. But as we go forward, as we plan our next version, IIT Kharagpur has now charted a course to become a global institute of eminence. And in order to do that, we have to move in many directions. First, we need to go international. We are going to not only have our presence in IIT Kharagpur, we are going to have our presence in 4 top cities of this country. We are going to have our presence internationally. We have decided to work and get top international students into the institute to solve global challenges, along with our students. We have decided that we will incubate 1 international university abroad. And we have decided that we will make this institution, our students, work hand in hand with the best in the world, in the Americas, in Europe, in Asia. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is not going to be easy, but it is going to be possible. And it is here where we need a larger family to work with. We have 750 faculty, we have 12,000 students, we have 1,000 staff, but we have 50,000, 60,000 alumni. And it is the alumni with whom we need to work hand in hand. We have decided that education from IIT Kharagpur is now going to be lifelong. Education is not going to be for a degree only here. We would like to ensure that our alumni are connected for any academic and research need. We need to set up absolutely world-class infrastructure. And if we don't do that, nobody will come here. We need to change our governance structure. And we are working very closely with the government to work out a new autonomy for IIT Kharagpur. We now have almost all disciplines. We have become a tech-centered university. We have engineering, basic science, social science, humanities, management, law, medical science and technology. We are now setting up liberal arts. We have found that bringing the arts, students, management, social science, engineering, tech, everybody together completely changes the dimension. We are churning out courses and new academic programs. Large degrees are no longer going to be the call of the day. So we have come out with very, very new concepts called microcredits, micro-specializations, and we are going to go massively outreach. And that is where we need the help of all our illustrious alumni. It will be a long journey, it will be a hard journey, but we have decided that we are probably the only ones at this stage capable of doing that. We've already invested more than 2,000 crores in addition to our normal grant in the last 4 years to build infrastructure. We have built a 400-bed super specialty research hospital. We have built a research park in Kolkata at about 100 crores. We are building an international visitors complex. We are building much more state-of-the-art infrastructure. Vishal just mentioned the sports playground is also going to become absolutely international class. The food is going to remain the same. Because probably this is the only thing that has made you what you are. So I request that alumni work out and find out how they can contribute. Give us suggestions. We may not be able to accept all of them. But we have started dreaming really big. And that is actually the reason why we call the young alumni achievers here. That is actually the reason why we called all of you here. Our earlier generation alumni have done their bit. It is now this massive potential all over the world with whom we need to work. We need to bring about a change. And I always compare ourselves of the evolution of this institute with the evolution of the Indian cricket team. From Vizzy as captain to the times of when we were defensive. You know, Sunil Gavaskar defending all the time. And Ajit Wadekar, who just expired, winning one test match somewhere else. We have come a long way. We are now like Dhoni, and we have to become like big. You will be happy to know what very, very unique work we are doing with mixing high-end technology, and the whole world is looking at it. In the last 1 year, using very advanced optical luminescence technology, we have proved that the Indus Valley civilization is 2,000 years older than assumed. We have shown exactly the sequence by which the Harappan civilization has gone extinct. Exactly what happened in its climate change. And very, very advanced technologies. We have started trying to figure out how Indian classical music works. And we are at the threshold of finding that the whole grammar is completely different from any grammar that was ever known. We are working on technologies of advanced laser materials. We are working on technologies that use peristaltic motion for movement of microfluids to enable new drug discoveries. Yet on the other hand, we have transformed village after village in the vicinity by providing them new technologies for farming. You actually have to see the next gen potter's wheel that has been developed by us. And it is our pleasure to tell all of you alumni who are here that that woman who used to make muri in a kadhai and earn 1,500 rupees is now using the muri making machine, earning 15,000 rupees a month And this technology is being transmitted all over the country, including the Northeast. That is the range and capability of this institution. But we need your help. If we want to become a global institute of importance, if instead of saying pious words about Nalanda and Takshashila, we really want to become it and show that we want to become it, then we have to look at the modern world. And we have to look and work as a family of 70,000 people. Let us make this pledge on this foundation day that we'll try our best to make it happen. Yesterday, somebody was asking me, and we were discussing, among the unique things that we are discussing yesterday, alumni set up a new center. It's called a Center for Re-Water. 2 alumni gave their own money. So we are going to replenish, reuse, completely revitalize water. So we are going to have a pilot plant in the institute where we are going to take sewage water, and the challenge is that we will make it so good that we will put it back into the pipeline after refurbishing. And don't worry, it will be okay. So, at that point in time, when I asked Professor Ghangrekar, we'll do it. So Ghangrekar said, yes sir, we'll try. So then I reminded him of one of my most famous heroes. One of my most famous heroes is Yoda, the Jedi Master. So all of you must be knowing about Yoda. So I love his statement, and I will end with that. And I will request you all to think about that. Yoda said, do or do not, there is no try. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for that very, very motivating speech. A round of applause for him again. We will begin conferring the Young Alumni Achiever Award. I request the Young Alumni Achiever awardees to kindly come forward. I request the dignitaries on stage to come forward for the presentation, and I respect our Dean Alumni Affairs to announce the awards. I also request the awardees to say a few words before they leave the stage. Thank you so much.
It's my proud privilege to announce a new award. In fact, you are all aware of the Distinguished Alumnus Awards. And then the think tank in IIT was thinking that how to connect with our younger alums who are doing wonderfully well. So we thought that in similar lines of how we choose, get nominations, go through a filtration process and choose the Distinguished Alumnus awardees, let's do that, but this should be targeted at the young crop, and they would be below 40 years. So here we have names of, actually we are conferring to 12 of the most discerning young alumni achievers, and 7 of them are present with us. I'm so proud to read out their names one by one. First, we have Shomojit Mondal, 2002, BTech, EC, Nehru Hall. Shomojit Mondal, professor, is a distinguished scientist, educator, and author. He is currently assistant professor in Western Reserve University, Cleveland, Ohio, and Investigator Advanced Platform Technology Center, Administration Medical Center, Cleveland, Shomojit Mandal. Who? You can speak from wherever. Come.
Okay.
From that side?
It's fine. I'll go there.
Then you don't displace me.
Thank you, everyone, and particularly thanks to everybody who invited me here to get this award. As one of my friends said when he was congratulating me, he said, "I'm just happy that they think that you and I are still young." So yeah, it's very happy to be back here in particular in the auditorium where we spend many days and nights doing various events. And thanks to the director for the Chuck PPC for that wonderful speech, which is really motivating. And thank you all for coming. And that's basically all I have to say. Thank you.
May I now call upon our next awardee, Rajesh Yabaji, 2010 Dual Degree MT, Nehru Hall. Mr. Rajesh Yabaji is the co-founder and CEO, Blackbuck, an online marketplace platform for freight that is revolutionizing logistics in India.
Thank you, KGP, for calling me here and felicitating with this award. There are very few occasions where I get to speak out my heart and my gratitude towards the institute. I think whatever we all are today, it's because of KGP. KGP made me fall in love with operations. That's where everything about logistics in my life started. And from there, I think I'll not let KGP down. We will ensure that as Blackbuck, as a KGPN, we transform the world of freight globally. KGP gave me everything, the pride from my parents, my learnings, what I'm today, even my wife who's sitting in the audience. This award, though I'm receiving, it's on behalf of 1,200 members of my team, my co-founders, my wife, and my parents. Thanks a ton, KGP, for everything.
The next name I call out is very special because I have the privilege of taking some of her classes. May I call upon Pooja Rai, 2015 B.Arch Architecture, Essen Hall. Ms. Pooja Rai is an architect, social entrepreneur, and author. She is CEO and co-founder of Anthill Creations. It's a not-for-profit organization that aims to bring back play into the lives of all kids by building sustainable playscapes, landscapes from scrap tires and other recyclable materials with community participation. Pooja.
Good morning, everyone. thank you very much to the Institute, to all the professors who thought that, I deserve this award. I graduated in 2015 and we are, I think we're still struggling entrepreneurs. So I don't take this as an achievement award. I think it's more of a motivation for me and my entire team. And of course, I can't thank the Institute much because we started until when we were in college itself. The team the team which came together, we are a bunch of friends from architecture who started this organization, and that's what I would say to the students sitting in the room also, that KGP KGP gives you that opportunity, that space where you can find people, like-minded people to form the team, the support of the alumni and professors to kickstart whatever you want to do in your life. What these 5 years at KGP made me, find what I'm good at and what I really want to do. So I just had to find something that I really like, what I'm good at, and also create something good for the world. And that's why I love what I do. And thank you very much.
May I now call upon Mr. Varun Tsubasa, 2009 BTech Electrical Engineering, RP Hall. Mr. Varun Tsubasa is a social activist and change maker. He is a founder and chairman of UPAY, Underprivileged Advancement by Youth. It's an NGO devoted to the care of underprivileged children and is currently Manager, Project Planning and Monitoring, NTPC Limited.
First of all, I would like to thank all the faculty members and the jury members who have selected me for this award and has given a voice to my work, to the cause for the cause I am fighting for. I don't know whether I am an achiever or not, but I am a struggler again. And the dream I am having, that is very difficult and over-ambitious. What I believe, that every child, whether he is living in a footpath or in a bungalow, rich or poor, must have a right to education and must have a right to childhood. And we as a citizen has the responsibility to stand for these children. And when the society, we will participate in that, when we will become part of it, I hope that change will come. So I have a dream that one day, every child, he will get ready in the morning to go to school, not to some dhaba or restaurant for cleaning the utensils, not to some street for picking up the rags, and not to some traffic signals for bagging. That is my dream, and I believe that with your support, with your blessings, I will be able to achieve that, maybe not in this life, but maybe in the next life, whenever it is possible. So thank you so much for having me here and supporting me. Thank you so much.
May I now call upon Mr. Siddharth Khastagir, 2011 Dual Degree ME, RK Hall. Mr. Siddharth Khastagir is an acclaimed name in the global automotive industry. He is currently Principal Engineer, Warwick Manufacturing Group, University of Warwick, UK. He is also a UK representative to the ISO Technical Committee, responsible for creating standards in the field of advanced driver assistance systems and automated driving. Siddharth.
First of all, I would just like to thank the institution for conferring this award. It's very, I feel very honored to receive this. I think one thing I would really like to say is, as I think Rajesh and Pooja also said, we owe a lot to the institution, and whatever we have achieved today and all our alumni, we owe a lot to the institution, especially for me, sticking to core industry and building automotive, which was my passion. I'm really grateful to Professor PPC actually, who, when in his role as Dean Strick, allowed the Formula SAE project to happen in the institute, which was unheard of. So I think not only me, the entire team CART team is grateful and indebted to Professor PPC over here. Apart from that, I think I would also like to say a big thank you to the entire alumni cell team, who've been absolutely magnificent in all the arrangements and the hospitality. So thank you for everything. Coming to KGP is always special, but you made it even more special this time, so thank you.
May I now call upon Professor Ishan Burman, 2005 BTech ME RP Hall. Professor Ishan Burman is a brilliant scientist, educator, and mentor who has made stellar contributions in his chosen field of biomedical optics and spectroscopy. He is currently Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Oncology, and Radiology and Radiological Sciences at Johns Hopkins University, and Principal Investigator, Laser Biomedical Research Center, MIT. Professor Ishan Burman.
Very good morning to all of you. Wow, it seems like ages since I was last here. So many changes. I'm deeply honored to be standing here today to receive this award. I'd first like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Iit Kharagpur for bestowing me with this recognition. In life, there are milestones and then there are milestones. I have a long way to go in my career, but I believe, scratch that, I'm convinced that this occasion resides in that latter category. It's been a challenging yet a richly rewarding experience for me, but I have not traveled this journey alone. Numerous people have made significant contributions, many of whom have resided in this very institution. Our professors were, and I'm sure still are, dedicated professionals who constantly pushed us to go beyond our comfort zones. I also learned a lot about what it takes to compete in the fiercest environments from our student cohort. Those lessons have remained with me since then. I'd also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank my colleagues, collaborators, and my students who have done the bulk of the heavy lifting in recent years. Last but not the least, of course, winning this award wouldn't have been possible without my family's constant support, patience, and inspiration. My parents, Asima and Meera Burman, I can't thank them enough for what they have done and are still doing for me. Ditto for my lovely wife, Damayanti, who couldn't be here today, but whom I first met at this very institution and who has been an equal partner in all things big and small ever since. Let me conclude by saying that for all our achievements, victories, and success stories, what I recall most fondly is the kinship that's formed in these hallowed portals. May we continue to build on that kinship, may it prosper, and may we take that opportunity to repay our debt of gratitude to Iit Kharagpur. Thank you once again for this wonderful recognition.
May I now call upon Krishna Kumar Mehra, 2006 BTech, Computer Science, RK Hall. Mr. Krishna Kumar Mehra is an angel investor, mentor, and co-founder, CEO of Taro Incorporated, California. Taro is a new food delivery concept that enables access to high-quality, authentic, ethnic food for customers all over the US. Wow.
KGP. These are truly three magical letters. From the first time that I set forth in the Institute, I would have never thought I'll be standing here speaking to all of you folks. Thank you so much to the institution for conferring this honor on me. To my teachers, from whom I've learned a lot, both in class as well as outside, essential life skills. I have to thank my parents who've given a lot to me. Quick trivia, when we initially started Capillary, it was born in a room right next to the garage. Not quite the garage, but next door. And our first funding for Capillary was from Iit Kharagpur. It was rupees 15 lakhs. And I remember the business plan we had presented to TIETS, and the person I have to thank for giving us that opportunity is Professor PPC here. Thank you very much, sir, for all the discussions. I apologize, we didn't really do a lot on what we had promised in the business plan, but I think we did quite well. The one thing that we really did learn through all of it was how to think big, especially from all the discussions with you. I also want to thank my wife and daughter who've probably had to bear the brunt of all of my entrepreneurial fantasies. One thing I would definitely like to mention, we all don't realize how lucky we are to be a part of this wonderful fraternity. I hope some of the magic of KGP rubs off on all of you, just like the way it's rubbed off on me. Thank you so much. And yo KGP!
Congratulations, awardees. Sir, please take your seat. May I now request our most respected Dean Undergraduate Studies, Professor Sudhir Kumar Barai, to announce the Student Awards, sir. And I request our Director, Professor Parthapratim Chakraborty, to give out the awards.
A very good morning to all of you and welcome to this 68th Foundation Day ceremony. It's a great honor for me to announce the Students Awards. So let me just start with the first one, which is the Kirtan B. Behra Endowment Award. I'll announce the name, Hima Swetha N. Tokala Yashwant Shri Sai Santosh. Sashwat Gangawal. The next award is Chandralekha Singh and Jeremy Levy Student Excellence Award in honor of Professor G.P. Shastri, Prajwal Singhania. Chandralekha Singh and the Jeremy Levy Student Excellence Award in honor of Professor Mandakini Majumdar, Shubham Jena. the last one is a very unique award of the IIT KGP, which is a signature board, Learn, Earn and Return LER Award, Debjyoti Kar. Thank you, sir, and congratulations to all the students for winning these awards. Thank you.
Congratulations, students. I now request Professor Chattopadhyay to announce the Nina Saxena Award, and I request Professor Chakraborty to give out the award. I would request the awardees to say a few words before they leave the stage.
I have the pleasure of announcing the Nina Saxena Technology Excellence Award. The technology awarded Anupat, Lab on Palm Technology for Point-of-Care Diagnostics of Multiple Chronic Diseases. Healthcare technology commercialized through the startup Path Sodh Healthcare, incubated at IISc Bangalore. Path Sodh Healthcare Private Limited is a medical device research and development company incubated at the Indian Institute of Science, IISc Bangalore, driven by a social mission of making healthcare diagnosis affordable and available to all. The company is built on a very strong foundation of innovative research conducted at the Center of Nanoscience and Engineering. The team awarded Professor Navakant Bhatt, co-founder and chairman of the board, Path Sodh Healthcare Private Limited. Professor Bhatt has been a faculty at the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore since 1999, where he is currently a professor in the Center of Nanoscience and Engineering, and Dr. Vinay Kumar, co-founder and CEO, Path Sodh Healthcare Private Limited.
A very good morning to all of you. Wow, what a day it is. I have come to IIT KGP on several occasions, but today is special on multiple counts. Firstly, it's a foundation day of the first IIT in the country, as was described by Professor Partho in his wonderful address to you. An event which is a transformational event on the landscape of Indian technology. And it's great honor for me to be here on such an auspicious day. Professor Manna asked me just before the event began whether I am an alumnus of this institute. I told him no, but I wish I was one. Even though I did not have the privilege of studying here, I feel that I am part of this family. I have several good friends here. I have known Professor Partho for several years, worked with him on several committees, and the uniqueness, as he mentioned, the several initiatives which were launched, in particular, the fact that young alumni achievers are recognized today. I don't think any IIT does that, and not IISc for sure. And I wish we take a leaf from this book at IISc and build better bridges with our alumni. And I was listening to the great achievements of the young achievers, spanning education, social service, high technology. It's amazing, and I'm indeed privileged that I'm part of this Young Achievers, and, I'm receiving this award along with these Young Achievers. They are the future of this country. And I'm sure listening to all this, our country is in very good hands with the kind of alumni that are coming from this great institute. And finally, this day is also very special because of the association with Nina Saxena. The award which is in memory of Nina Saxena, who also happens to be an alumnus of this institute. And she worked in an area which is not too far from what I do. I'm an electronics engineer, so I can appreciate the kind of work that she did in formal verification and rose to great heights at Intel in US. But while she achieved all this technological excellence, she did not lose sight of the most important thing that the education stands for, and that is to touch the society. And it is indeed a privilege that, we, two of us, are associated with this great name. And I'm indebted, and I really thank the award committee for recognizing our work, which is also in the direction of, touching the bottom of the pyramid. And we are indeed honored to be here. Thank you.
I would like to thank you, the selection committee, for my selection, along with my guru, my PhD mentor, Navakant sir. And this is another, the pride moment for me. I was not fortunate enough to get my graduations and masters from any IIT, but I have a great satisfaction that I got my PhD from IISc, which carry the similar type of energy and research enthusiasm which I noticed in this campus. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, awardees. I now request our respected Dean Faculty, Professor Shubhashis Tripathi, to give away the Faculty Award and to announce the Faculty Award. And I request Professor Chakraborty to give away the awards.
Good morning. It's with great pleasure I'm here to announce the Chair Professorship and Faculty Excellence Awards for 2018. And as our director said that it was a very, very tough competition, and also we were feeling sad that we would have many more awards for our faculty. And for this year, 2018, the Institute Chair Professorship Award goes to Professor Indranil Manna, Department of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering. Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari, Department of Industrial and Systems Engineering. Professor Tiwari is out of campus due to some institute job. The next set of award is Institute Faculty Excellence Award for Associate Professors, Dr. Rajiv Maiti, Department of Civil Engineering. Dr. Rajat Shubhra Chakraborty, Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Dr. Abhijit Mukherjee, Department of Geology and Geophysics. Institute Faculty Excellence Award for Assistant Professors, Dr. Sumantra Mandal, Department of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering. Dr. Tirtha Shankar Ray, Department of Physics. Institute Faculty Excellence Award for newly joined Assistant Professor, Dr. Saptarshi Ghosh, Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Dr. Ghosh is out of campus, so he is not able to receive this award. We have an endowment award for chair professors, distinguished chair professorship in artificial intelligence by the friends of Mr. A.K. Singh, our alumnus and a brave IPS officer who lost his life fighting the extremists. This award goes to Professor Pallab Dasgupta, Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Excellent Young Teacher Award, sponsored by Iit Kharagpur Alumni Foundation, goes to Dr. Swanand Ravindra Khare, Department of Mathematics. Congratulations and thank you, sir.
Congratulations to the awardees. May I now request our respected Registrar of Iit Kharagpur, Professor B.N. Singh, to give out the Staff Excellence Awards and the Professor S. Parthan Library Service Award.
A Staff Excellence Award was issued about 2 years back. This is the third in the series. And this award is given for an excellent service by the employees of the institute staff, Group A category, B and C category. And this year, Staff Excellence Award 2018 under category A goes to Mr. Alokesh Chattopadhyay, Principal System Engineer, who has been instrumental in the networking system of Iit Kharagpur. I request the next awardee in the category B, Ms. Sri Amitabha Rai, Senior Technical Superintendent, Agriculture and Food Engineering. This year, 2 joint awardees have been declared in the category C, group category C. The Sri Akhilesh Kumar Singh, Senior Laboratory Assistant, Department of Physics. He is out of station in connection with the institute work. I now request his wife of Akhilesh Kumar Singh to receive the award. So next awardee in the category C, Gopal Kumar Chanda, is a senior attendant, Department of Chemical Engineering Department. So in this award, the 50,000 cash prize in each category along with the certificates are given to the each awardees. Heartiest congratulations to all of them. Professor S. Parthan, who was Professor of Department of Aerospace Engineering, and he has contributed a service award for the library. So this year, the Library Service Award goes to Mr. Arun Kumar Goswami. I now request to the Director and Mr. Arun Kumar Goswami, please come.
Thank you, sir. I request our respectable registrar, Professor B.N. Singh, to announce the names of the Iit Kharagpur employees who have completed 25 years of their service. I request our Honorable Director, Professor Chakraborty, to give out the mementos to them.
So on the day of the foundation, we recognize the employees who have completed 25 years service in the institute. So this year, total 8 employees have completed 25 years service. I now request Professor Chakraborty to recognize them by a wristwatch on completion of 25 years service in this institute. I now request Professor Ashish Bhattacharya, please come on the presentation area. So, Professor Aditya Goswami, Professor Somnath Bhattacharya, Professor Rintu Banerjee, Professor Satyahari Day, Professor Nirjhar Dhang, Sri P. Tarkeshwar Rao, Attendant Agriculture and Food Engineering, Sri Atanu Basu, System Engineer, ERP. Thank you, sir.
I now call upon the homecoming batches who are celebrating their 20th, 15th and 10th anniversary of their graduation to come forward and accept a token of gratitude from our director, Professor Chakraborty. I request the Dean Alumni Affairs, Professor Chattopadhyay, to announce the names of the guest alumni.
I'm starting with the names of the 1998 batch alumni. Ashish Chibber, Adarsh Das, Adarsh K. Jain, Aparna De, Archie Bagchi, Bibhudatta Sahu, Chakradhar Reddy Gampala, Chandrasekhar KG, Deepak Kumar Singh, G. Shiv Kumar, Jyoti Jain, Kamal Kishore Das, Karuna Prasad, Krishnan Gopal Dhal, M. Sripal Reddy, P. Sudhir Kumar, Pamit Singh, Paushali Biswas, Pranabesh Dash, Raghunath Tripasuri, Prashant Kumar Jha, M. Ravindranath Kamath, Sanjeet Kumar Adhya, Saurabh Mukherjee, Srikant Bharati, Shubroto Gupta, Sumit Pal, Swati Pule, Vijay Kumar Srivastav, Vineet Goyal. If I have missed out any name from the 1998 batch, please come up and receive your token memento. Now I read out the names from the 2003 batch alumni: Jayanto Das, Kunal Kumar, Mayuri Srivastav, Mesbahul Alam, Snehesh Mitra, and Sumit Verma. I now read out the names from the 2008 batch alumni: Arunab Parihar, Orijit Anand, Devajyoti Bandopadhyay, Dhanur Jivari Jyoti Ranade, Haimanti Banerjee, Mukul Singhi, Partho Sur, Parag Saurav, Shivaji Bose, Sohail Khan, and Sumana Gupta. We have some from the 1984 batch alumni as well. So I read out the names of Dilip Kumar Raut, Lal Mani, Milind Koyande, and Rajiv Rajkondwar.
If we have missed out any of the homecoming batches, any member from the homecoming batches, please come and collect your mementos. And now for the talk we have been waiting for all morning. I request our most distinguished chief guest, Dr. Purnendu Chatterjee, to come and deliver his Foundation Day lecture. A big round of applause for him.
Good morning. It really is a pleasure. It really is a pleasure to be here and sort of see and feel the excitement of IIT. I left IIT 71 years back, but in 1971, so it's almost before many of you were born. So, and that IIT has changed so much. But some of the things have not changed. I took a walk after dinner last night just to feel what the campus feels like, unguided. And I sort of felt that energy that we had at that time. Of course, PPC mentioned that food has not changed, so I would not, since I didn't go and eat in the Azad Hall canteen, I cannot tell you whether food has changed or not, but I take his word for granted that food quality has not changed. When PPC asked me to speak to you, I thought about saying various things. But then some of you already have said it. Not only that, some of you have already sort of expressed through your achievements what I was going to say. Your life already encapsulated my content. So now I have to create the content as I go along. But one thing I was thinking about, although IIT is much bigger than just an engineering college, but at its very core, it's engineering. So who was the first engineer? So I did a little Wikipedia. Thanks to Wikipedia, you can get these things. And it is Imentohoff, who built the stepped pyramid. And since that time, there are many great engineers who built many things for the service of the community and the society. Leonardo da Vinci, Thomas Edison, and many, many more, including many of you. So what's common about being an engineer? What is about engineering that's special? Many things we use today, including the smartphone, was not, Steve Jobs was not an engineer. Neither was Wozniak, when he created they created the first PC. But they employed engineers. But the engineers are essential to solve some of the society's problems in the following way. We use the science, physics, chemistry, biology, and most importantly, mathematics, and bring all of this together to create, maintain, sustain, as our people are doing in Haldia Petrochemicals or many of these operating plants, and then they enhance through research. Now, as you look at where is engineering going and what should the future of the engineering education should be, is what I thought I will play with and discuss it with you. When we were doing engineering, that is 66 to 71, you needed to be a computer science person in order to do any kind of programming. Okay. Today, college kids, not even college kids, school kids are doing computer programming. So you do not need to be a computer science graduate to be doing programming. Even if you look at it about before Y2K, the reason the America's induction of engineering graduates from all of India came out is because of a little mistake that created Y2K problem. And then the American industry realized the value of Indian engineering. If that little problem wasn't there, that value of Indian engineering to the global society would have taken a lot more time. But what I sense, as everybody is becoming engineer in different ways, the space that was left for engineers is becoming, on the other hand, bigger and bigger, because most problems of the society will require engineers to solve. So that's why I see, while some of the amount of the background work, the essential work is needed to still be taught, but you have to do a lot more. And you see that in the university, in IIT Kharagpur today. When we were there, it was 2,000 students, 56 girls, okay. Now, of course, there are many, many departments. I think there are 98 departments or so. So it's showing that the problems of society at different places, whether it's from research side all the way to the NGO side, you are looking for engineers to come and solve those problems. And engineers can solve these problems. Politicians solve problems. They solve it in different ways. But, by the way, I was told, I did not verify this, Chinese Politburo at one time, they have 7 members. All 7 of them are engineers. Okay. Today I do not know how many of them are engineers, but this was about 7-10 years back. So one of the things you realize that even in nation building, and I think we mentioned this IAS gentleman that is serving in Kerala, he's an engineering background, he's solving problems there. Many engineers have become IAS, so they are solving policy problems. Some of you awardees today are engineering background, you are solving through their NGO work the social challenges that others would not solve. So I see the engineering education is going to morph. At the same time, I don't think you can get anywhere else the foundations, what in our days in IIT used to call funda thik thakna chahiye. If you don't have the funda right, okay, nothing gets done. So what are those fundas? You cannot get concepts of entropy later in life. You know, you don't get concepts of quantum theory unless you get it when you're young. You can get it, but it is difficult. So some of these concepts that are taught in the classes with your very senior professors are very, very important to take it through that mechanism of discussion, dialogue, and you have to really feel it to be able to use it later on. At the same time, I think the advent of MOOC, massively online open courseware, what it is doing is there are, I think, 800 courseware just available on the MIT's open courseware site. So what was previously given in the classroom, you can get it in the through the open courseware. And some of them are of the best qualities because there is competition going on between MOOCs, Coursera, and the various other providers of these courses. So you can the best of breed through that mechanism. Then what do you do in the classroom? Now nothing can teach the experiential side of what an IIT education gives if you are not in IIT. So I don't see the research universities or IIT KGP type of universities are losing its relevance in this world of open courseware. What happens is you now can do some work and go back and find out why you needed to know strength of material. So in a very interesting way, if you think about it, you teach me, I'll forget. You show me, I'll remember. And you involve me, I'll understand. Okay. By the way, it's a quote from somebody. I'm trying to figure out who quoted this. But this is a very famous quote, and you all know you learn when you get involved in that process very deeply. So last night, I went and saw this little project called DESLA. DESLA is a project that I think got started 3 years back. It involves designing a electric vehicle using students from second year, third year, fourth year, and fifth year. And they continue to rotate. At any one time, there are 25 people. Now they are working on circuit design, the electric motor design, battery management, all of these problems these kids are doing with, and whenever they're running into a problem, they go back to the professors. So there is a circle, the loop that's working in terms of what they learn in classroom and going and using and solving the problem. They looked at this circuit board with lots of capacitors and that Chinese are using. They're saying, look, this will not work in the Indian context. So they changed the design. So it is through this sort of problems they can figure it out, how to apply the learning into the real world. I think more and more experiential learning would be essential for a good engineer to be a great engineer. I think IIT teaches you to be a good engineer. IIT also, of course, made all of us, we came in where we were 16, 17 and graduated. So this whole process of socialization, being in Gymkhana, being in the hall, getting involved, making friends, this is why we live in, sort of live here, but then Kharagpur lives in us. And it is why it is so pleasant to be back here so many times. And I hope I get to come here as we get older and older, because I'm feeling younger by being in the midst of you. So coming back to how engineering is changing, I look at it, whether it's B2C or it's B2B, all of this field, you just don't need the physics, chemistry and old life and pure engineering knowledge. You now have to expand it. Design is becoming a very, very important element of delivering any problem, solving any problem to the society. So whether if you go to Airbnb, it's created by some design people using lots of engineers, but the design thinking is what is at the root of their success. Even the Uber, this is next generation company, again, design thinking. How do you ensure the problems that people face in terms of the quality of the driver, the quality of the host, how do you rate them, and the use of the big data is of course essential for you to have engineers and quantitative thinking behind it to solve it. So I think technology, design and entrepreneurship are essential elements of a complete education that will make a good engineer a great engineer. And I know IIT will produce good engineers, and what I think the challenge would be is how to impart some of this to make them great engineers. And Partho's various programs that he is doing by bringing in liberal arts, by bringing in some of the other elements of pedagogy, is going to ensure that IIT becomes the wicket-keeper and the captain, not just for the Indian engineering institutions, but lead the way for the world. Because that's the aspiration. We have 1.2 billion people, and we are actually endowed with a lot of conceptual thinking from the days, because contemplative thinking was the core of our heritage. And those contemplative thinking gets reflected in thinking about even the concept of zero. You cannot think about zero without having a way to conceptualize a different kind of world. And if you look at it, there's something that was very interesting that was happening. When the Solvay conference had 11 of the greatest physics mind, Madame Curie to Einstein to Niels Bohr, there are 11 pictures over there. At the same time, in Calcutta, you had C.V. Raman, Jagadish Bose, S.N. Bose. So that 20% of global capacity of physics was happening here, while working closely with the people in Europe. I see that possibility has opened up, because Kamlesh, you were there, you were working there and working here. Because internet has made us all come closer together. Not only just in terms of coursework, but it is collaboration work. Every field that you are getting into is increasingly more collaborative. The problems are so complex and so large. For example, this human genome science, that project required scientists from all over the world working together. The second project that was taken, the World Cancer Atlas, that involved again large number of people. And I am very excited to see IIT creating a medical college on top of the medical science and technology coursework that is there. Because this century, if the last century was century of physics and computer science, this century is going to be primarily century of biology, biophysics, nanobiophysics, and because a lot of the problems of diseases are going to be solved, science is going to take a step jump. But in every area, it's no longer just biologists can do that. If you look at it, it requires imaging, the whole CT scan, NMR, all of that activity is purely engineering driven. Engineering, behind engineering is physics. So physics becoming engineering, engineering becoming physics, all these fields are actually becoming not department specific. You need the department for a few years to get the funder right, but when it comes to the work life, it all becomes multidisciplinary. I also see the institute like Kharagpur, in order to get its right place, research has to play a more and more important role. And it will be collaborative research. And I really am very pleased to look at the international collaboration, the increasing number of international collaboration that's going on in the campus today. Because what happens is, unless you have diversity of views, your research quality would not improve. So inviting the people from outside and working here, it's what gives you the edge. Now, look at the American research universities. Till the before the World War II, okay, they were mostly not on the top 50. It was mostly European universities that were at the cutting edge. That's why from Niels Bohr to a lot of the physics happened in Europe. But America opened up after World War II. Not only America opened up, many of these people came. So today, large number of American universities' success is not because of the just Americans. It is because all over the world, people are going there to work on the toughest problems. So we have to reverse that brain drain. And there are a lot of interesting dynamics that's going on because interesting problems are here. Large-scale societal problems are available in India that for data for which is not available there. So if you want to really have 10,000 patients with certain kind of disease characteristics, you would not find them in Norway, even though they may have more money than any of the universities around the world to solve that problem. Where do they go and get that kind of patient population to work on? And oftentimes you are looking for small signals in large data. And those problems are hard statistical problems. So again, back to you need statistics, you need different kind of statistics, you need signal theories, because what do you know what's happening in the cosmic world? It's also looking for small signals in the midst of large amounts of data. So research of certain kinds are very essential, and you need to bring in the people that have that kind of problems and working on that problem with the young minds that we have, with the young faculty that we have. So Charles West was the ex-president of MIT. He articulated a particular concept, saying all this thing that is going on, he sees the future as a meta-university. Now what is a meta-university? It's saying, look, the cyber infrastructure exists, the courseware exist. You take all of these digital capabilities that is there and you build educational institutions on top of that where you specialize in certain areas. And so I see Kharagpur is at the cutting edge of creating that kind of a meta-university. It's global, it is, we need, I'm so pleased to see that the women women student population is already, I think, 14%, on its way to become 20%. But I love to see Kharagpur, to achieve it, not only have diversity locally, but at least 20-25% of foreign students and 20-25% of foreign faculty. It is when we achieve those kinds of diversity and a cohesive diversity of that kind, new types of thoughts, new kind of research, path-breaking research will come out. And next generation startups don't have to be in Silicon Valley. We can have our own Elon Musk from here. Again, by the way, Elon Musk is not an engineer, but is probably the best engineer out there today. He comes from the background of physics. So I think to create those kinds of people locally, we need to have an extremely thriving meta university, and nobody is better positioned than Kharagpur. So with that, I look forward to not only the great heritage and the past 68 years, the foundation that has been built, but the journey has just started. I think in order to be in the top 10 of the world, we not only should think about educating 12,000 students, we should be thinking about educating 100,000 great engineers, where the soul of that is in Kharagpur. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for that wonderful lecture. I request our director, Professor Chakraborty, to present a small token of appreciation to our distinguished chief guest, Dr. Purnendu Chatterjee. May I now please respect our respected registrar, Professor B.N. Singh, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Very good afternoon to all of you. At the outset, I would like to extend our heartiest congratulations to all the awardees. Chief guest of the today function, Dr. Chatterjee, our director of the institute, Professor Parthapatim Chakravarti, respected deputy director of the institute, Professor Sriman Kumar Bhattacharya, Dean and Alumni Affairs, my faculty and staff colleagues, awardees, ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege and the pleasure task to propose a vote of thanks. I would like to thank and extend our sincere gratitude to chief guest of the today function, Dr. Chatterjee, for sparing his valuable time coming over the IIT Kharagpur. Just I was inquiring about him, how many times you have come. So he mentioned that is a few times. So it's a really his Vedic in the future will make more frequent and coming to this institute. Sir, as you have mentioned, the institute has made a vision plan under the dynamic leadership of our director, Professor Partha Chakravarti. We have made strategic planning. We have also made an implementation plan in coming 5 years, 10 years. The strategy we have evolved for the implementation and the monitoring of the excellence of the institute in coming 5 and 10 years. And we are striving to appeal the greater height of academic excellence. I assure you, sir, that in time to come, the institute will further achieve the greater height of academic excellence. I would like to thank our dynamic director, Professor Chakravarti, under whose leadership the institute is trying its best to achieve, as I mentioned, a greater height of academic excellence. And during his last 5 years, several initiatives to achieve the excellence has been taken. And institute, I'm happy to inform you that the institute has achieved several such distinctions that you all are aware through the Facebook posts, media, and all kind of communications we have, and alumni office, etc., etc. I would also like to thank our deputy director of the institute, who is also the backbone of all kind of initiative. And we also call in an official meeting also that we address him as Srimanda. So he is our respected, that is a faculty colleague in the institute, and I'm sure that it is all team, including the deputy director, we will definitely achieve you, sir, that I assure you. Dean of Alumni Affairs, I would like to thank a special thank to the Dean Alumni Affairs and his team. Entire team includes the staff, the faculty, and the students. The technology, BP technology student Jim Khana, he was also earlier the part of the alumni office. So I'd like to thank for a wonderful arrangement and the management of the 68th Foundation Day function. I would like to extend a sincere gratitude and thanks to all the awardees. The Young Achiever Awards, as I mentioned, this is the first time in the Iit Kharagpur, and the Student Excellence Award. I would like to thank Professor Chandrelekha Singh and the other people who have contributed for the Student Excellence Award. The Staff Excellence Award, the Faculty Excellence Award, Library Excellence Award, and all. I would like to thank my faculty colleagues and staff colleagues who are attending this function and making it more memorable. Alumni homecoming, that is now somehow I would like to, that will be now congratulate the alumni office. See, somehow they have made the function like that. It is coinciding exactly with our 68th Foundation Day. So it's good to meet all of you, 10, 15, 20, like that classification has been made. And with the help of your presence, now 68-day Foundation function has become more memorable and respectable. I would like to thank the print and the electronic media, the members of the print and media. I welcome them and thanks to them for making a coverage to this function. I would also like to thank all the service sections of the institute who are behind the scene. They are working for this function, and without giving thanks to them, that will be not a justice will be done. So I would like to thank the refrigeration, air conditioning, AP cell, electrical works, CCM, sanitary, horticulture, technology film society, In fact, this Netaji Auditorium is managed by the Technology Face Society. So if you want to book this one, as an institute also we have to approach them and find out whether this is a vacant or not. So special thanks go to them who have provided this facility and all. Thank you all. I would also like to thanks the establishment section, the director office, deputy director office, dean office, registrar office, and all such offices who have directly and indirectly contributed towards the management and functioning of the 68 functions on the day. At the end, but not least, I would like to thank you all once again, and who have directly and indirectly that supported this function. Thank you very much.
We've come to the end of the program. I would request you all to stand up as we play the national anthem.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात